All right. What's up, everybody? Back at it once again with another Dallas Cowboys post-game show. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been on. The last one I did was, I want to say, the Steelers game. Yes, the last one I did was the Steelers game, maybe. I know the Cowboys had a bye week. I know San Francisco lost on Sunday night, really late. Didn't have time to get to a post-game show for that. Feel bad about that. I missed a post-game show, but I'm back. And wow, here we are yet again, following another Dallas Cowboys loss, this time at the hands of the Atlanta Falcons. Final score, Falcons 27, Cowboys 21. The Cowboys fall to 3-5 in the regular season. The Dallas Cowboys have now lost. Let's count this. Ready? The Dallas Cowboys have now lost 3 games in a row. Losses to the Lions, losses to the 49ers, and now a loss to the Atlanta Falcons, 27-21 here on this beautiful November the 3rd. I'm James Espinosa. I am the host of the Sunday Sports Rush. I am a broadcaster for the MIC Sports Network, and I do broadcast on the official home of the Dallas Cowboys here in Corpus Christi, News Talk KEYS 1440 AM 98.7 FM. I appreciate y'all guys. This is Sports Rush Media. This is the postgame show. So where do we get started? Where do we get started with our postgame show? If you want to dive into the comments, go ahead and do that. If you want to share, like, all that good stuff, I would appreciate that as well. I understand if you guys don't want to get your comments in. It's been ugly for the Cowboys. The past 3 games for the Dallas Cowboys has been what every one of us feared. The bottom is officially falling out for this team. This thing is going to the bottom of the ocean floor faster than we can imagine. Guys, losers of 3 in a row. And the next 3 games for the Dallas Cowboys are as follows. It's Philadelphia at home. The Cowboys then get the Texans at home on Monday Night Football before they travel out to the D.C. area to play the Red Hot Commanders on November the 24th. That's the next 3 games for the Cowboys. And the thing that you can take away from this game is, one, the Cowboys committed a lot of undisciplined, stupid, idiotic penalties. This is a bad football team. Bad football teams commit really bad penalties in really bad situations. Bad football teams put themselves in bad positions. Bad football teams have coaches who make just some dumbfounding choices on 4th and 1s. Bad football teams don't know how to battle through adversity. Bad football teams don't know how to pick each other up off the ground. This is a really bad football team. This offense can't move the football. This defense can't stop the run. This is what a lot of us thought would happen with the Dallas Cowboys when they made absolutely zero effort to improve their roster in the offseason. This is what we all thought whenever they decided to bring Zeke Elliott back as a solution to the running game. Meanwhile, Zeke Elliott starts bitching and moaning because he's going to be deactivated. Turns out that Zeke Elliott's missing meetings. He's habitually late to team meetings. And the Cowboys finally had enough of his crap. Well, at least the coaching staff has had enough of his crap. Jerry Jones will always favor Zeke Elliott. And whenever you play favorites like that, I don't give a damn if it's a team sport. I don't give a damn if it's a business or wherever you work. You start playing favorites with people from a management position, and instead of hiring the best people possible, you more than likely will get egg on your face. You more than likely will reap the negatives of that. And that's what the Cowboys are doing right now. They're reaping the negatives of Jerry Jones roster construction, one of the worst jobs he's ever done in the history of his time as a general manager. Losers of 3 in a row, the Cowboys fall to the Falcons 27-21. If you have any thoughts, have any takes, please get them in there. Fred says DC4L. I appreciate you, Fred, for keeping the faith, as you always do. So I took some notes during the game. Let's go ahead and let's get to that. Let's start in the first quarter. I thought the Cowboys started off pretty well. Huge 3rd down stop on the opening drive for the Cowboys. It was a nice Trevon Diggs breakup. The first time this season that the Cowboys did not allow points on the opponent's first possession. So, hey, started out pretty well. I was excited for that. Cowboys then show some early signs of life on offense. Lots of short passes. extending the run through the short pass, which is going to be pivotal for Dallas going forward if they are able to go forward with their quarterback one. We'll talk about that in a little bit. A lot of short passes to Ferg and Daddle. One negative that happened was Martin missed a huge block on a screen, set up a 3rd and long from Dowdle, and the Cowboys end up getting a field goal from Brandon Aubrey. A field goal from Brandon Aubrey. It was a 3 plays they had covering 54 yards. They got to the Atlanta 21, but they stalled out. Aubrey ends up getting that field goal. 3-0 Cowboys. So Cowboys immediately up on top. Now, fast forwarding, Kirk Cousins and the Falcons made it look rather easy. It was a Drake London fade route, back shoulder, right over Trayvon Diggs. Hell of a throw from Cousins. I always love the way Cousins plays football. Touchdown Atlanta, 7-3. The thing about that, which was pretty huge at the time and I thought was going to play a pretty big factor going forward, was Drake London apparently landed on his hip from the replay, and you could see it. And he suffered a hip pointer, which is not great. Pretty sure that's painful. Never had a hip pointer in my life, but damn, that sounds like an injury that hurts. What the Falcons did on that drive pretty well was they went at cornerback Kalen Carson on that drive. They were attacking him, and Carson had a rough time. And the Cowboys defense, for the most part, had a pretty rough time as well, guys. Let's go to Cowboys possession number 2. It was a 3-and-out, but this one was big, and this one had me take that screen grab that I posted right here on my Facebook, on my social media pages. Dak missed Tolbert up the sideline. Absolutely wide open on a second down play. He was sacked. Looked like Dak had happy feet. Next play, it's a 3rd down. Dak gets sacked again, and Terrence Steele is beat by Grady Jarrett. Just Terrence Steele is a turnstile at right tackle. He can run block decently, but his pass blocking skills, it seems like every freaking week, Terrence Steele is always giving up something to a pass rushing defensive end. Later on, Falcons have the ball, and Carl Lawson gets a strip sack fumble of Cousins. Amazing play. Donovan Wilson recovers the fumble on the Dallas own 33. Freaking awesome. You're thinking, all right, Cowboys are going to get going. Going to Cowboys possession number 3. This is in the second quarter. Dallas is facing a 4th-and-1 situation. 4th-and-1 situation. Cowboys decide to run an end around to CeeDee Lamb for a huge loss. This was one of the plays that I highlighted because I'm thinking, why are we trying to run a end around to Lamb? I get it. If it works, it's all great. But I thought the Cowboys got too cute right there, and this is a product of them not being able to run the ball forward, not being able to gain 1 yard when you need it. On 3rd and 1, they tried it with Dowdle, and he was stuffed up the middle on a run-pass option, on an RPO from Dak. Could Dak have took it for the first down? Possibly. So the Cowboys decide to go 4th and 1 end around. Huge loss. I thought that was a bad play call by McCarthy. I think a quarterback sneak could have worked in that moment, but nonetheless, Cowboys turn it over on downs. Next play or next possession for the Falcons, it's 14-3 after Kirk Cousins finds Darryl Mooney wide open. Trayvon Diggs got lost in that little diamond trips formation that was out there, got lost in the sauce, ran into his own guys. Mooney wide open. Diggs was looking for a flag. But once again, as I mentioned, the Cowboys just make too many damn mistakes, guys. It's 14-3 at this point, and you're already seeing the makings of what this team is. A team that is consistently falling over themselves. So, that part happens, and it's horrible. 14-3 at that moment. Anthony's in here. What's up, Anthony? Anthony says that was brutal. Don't forget about the amount of money they're paying Steele, too. Yeah, Terrence Steele is not getting underpaid. Let's put it that way. Let me look at Terrence Steele's contract real quick because Anthony brought that up. According to Sport Track, Terrence Steele, he did sign a 5-year, $82.5 million contract with the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, this is barely the second year of that 5-year deal. So still a lot of Terrence Steele to go. The potential out for the Cowboys is after the 2025 season. So Cowboys still probably got another year or so with Terrence Steele. Getting back to the game, if you have any comments, get in here. Cowboys fall to the Falcons 27-21. Is the season over? Is there any hope going forward, especially with what we saw out there today? Dak Prescott out with a hamstring injury. How long will he be out? Who knows? Hamstrings can be very tricky. That could be a week. That could be 2. That could be 3. That could be a month. CeeDee Lamb with his shoulder. Man, I know he was trying to play like a warrior out there. I get it. Late in the game, trying to do something. Caught the 2-point conversion from Cooper Rush. Man, I don't think he should have been out there. I think they should have took the helmet away from CeeDee Lamb. It's just, if you lose both Dak and CeeDee Lamb for any amount of time, for any extended amount of time going forward, and you have to have Cooper Rush and the rest of those receivers, Tolbert, Flournoy, Brooks, etc., Turpin, it's going to get real interesting on that offense. It really is. I think we might see some crazy ineptitude if you cannot have Dak or CD on this team healthy here in the next 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks. It's going to be crazy. Aiden's weighing in. What's up, Aiden? Appreciate you, big dog. My co-host of the Sunday Sports Rush and my best friend. Aiden says, signing Terrence Steele off a major leg injury was a choice. He also goes on to say, y'all, meaning Cowboys fans, need to have an uncomfortable convo about Trevon Diggs. 2 touchdowns given up. He is afraid to be physical, and he lost his agility since his injury. Man, that's a hell of a take right there. First, let me address the Terrence Steele thing, right? Yeah, Jerry signed him off of a major leg injury. Definitely a choice, right? Definitely a choice to have him play right tackle. As I mentioned, 5 years, $85 million. The next out for the Cowboys would be after the 2025 season on the Terrence Steele deal. Definitely a choice. But the Diggs conversation is interesting. And we saw Trevon Diggs throw a little bitch fit last week when he got mad at Mike Leslie of WFAA for calling out a play where Trevon Diggs appeared to be loafing on a George Kittle run towards the end zone. Diggs, of course, came out vehemently, defended himself. He confronted Mike Leslie, said, Mike Leslie, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. Better watch out because Diggs will come after you if you call him out, Aiden. But yeah, I mean, Diggs looks hampered, and Diggs hasn't looked like the same guy since the injury. I think that's a fair point to say. And Diggs does give up some touchdowns, man. Diggs, in my opinion, I don't know if it's just defensive scheme of Zimmer and him not being in that Dan Quinn defense where Dan Quinn allows their athletes to make plays on the ball, but Diggs just doesn't seem that aggressive, and I'm not sure that the Mike Zimmer scheme is the best for a Trevon Diggs who relies on his natural ability to be an aggressive playmaker on the ball as a defensive back. So there could be a lot of factors in that, Aiden. I'm not going to deny that. But yeah, Trevon Diggs has been underperforming this year as well as a majority of the Cowboys. So, hey, if you're going to look at somebody, you can look at Trevon Diggs and say he could be a little bit better. I will agree with that. Hit us up. I was going to start going into my radio talk right there. I was going to say, if you have any comments, anything like that, get in on the text line. Make sure to share the video as well. Cowboys post-game show by yours truly, James Espinosa. 27-21, Cowboys fall to the Falcons. They move to 3-5 on the season. Moving on with some more highlights from the Cowboys game. Cowboys possession number 4. Dak Prescott has a huge run for a first down. Longest run of the season from Prescott. I believe he ran that one, I want to say 15-plus yards at minimum. Huge play, gets him down to the 22. And then Rico Dowdle has a huge run inside the 5, right? So Cowboys got the ball, first and goal situation. False start, Tyler Smith. Moves them from first and goal on the 2 to first and goal at the 7. It's a pitch to Dowdle on first and goal. He gets it down to the 3. Now, this is where things get absolutely insane. Second and goal from the 3. One of those, oh my God, what is going on? No, 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 yes, yes, yes type of touchdowns. Dak scramble, throw to Dowdle. Dowdle bobbles it, falls to the turf, and the ball falls to Dowdle, and he secures it for the touchdown. Absolutely insane. Dak was under insane amounts of pressure. Every single Cowboys lineman except for Tyler Smith got beat by their guy on that play. And there's a still shot floating around there on X. If you go and take a look, There's 4 Falcons about to be in the grill of Dak Prescott. I don't know how Dak sidestepped all them, but he made a hell of a play. Some great, athleticism in the pocket right there to escape and then get the ball to Dowdle. But just kind of a microcosm of the Cowboy season where everybody but Tyler Smith got their ass whooped on that play. And Dak Prescott still found a way to try to make a play, and they did make a play. Cowboys had 3 runs of 15 yards on that drive from Lamb, Dak, and Dowdle. Those were the longest runs of the Cowboys season, to put that in perspective. That brought the Cowboys down to 14-10. Moving on, after halftime, it's 14-10 Falcons, and then pretty much the third quarter is where things just got freaking insane. The Cowboys, on their first possession of the third quarter, and I'm taking a deep sigh right here, just absolutely whipped my ass when I saw this, because I saw it coming. 4th down, punt formation. In my head, I was thinking the Cowboys are desperate. The Cowboys are going to go for some kind of fake. I just knew it in my head. I did not envision a Brian Anger back shoulder pass attempt on a 4th down at the beginning of the third quarter. And that ball was nearly intercepted. I just knew they were going to go for the fake. I thought it might be a snap to the up back, something. But I did not envision such a low percentage play on that 4th down call. If you're going to have your punter attempt a low percentage pass like that, and I get it, you want to be deceptive. I understand. You needed something in that moment. But why not put your offense on the field with a quarterback who, guess what, is used to passing a football? Just a wild-ass decision from Mike McCarthy. Another one in this game that just had me just questioning, what the hell is Big Mike doing? What is he thinking? Man, just absolute inept in the play calling department right there. So the Cowboys fail to pick that up. Next possession, few plays later, Kirk Cousins, with all the time in the world, hits Ray McLeod in the end zone. It's a touchdown. Falcons go up 21-10, and it's over. At that moment, it is absolutely over. In my opinion, the Cowboys go down double digits. They try to fight back, as we saw at the end. Aubrey gets a 58-yarder at the end of the third quarter as time expired, and then it's announced in the fourth quarter that Dak is in the medical tent. At first, I thought it was his hand because they were focusing on his hand on the telecast. They said it was swollen. He had a cut, which it looked like it. Later on, it's announced that Dak had a hamstring, and then they show the replay where Dak pulled up lame after a pass attempt. Looked painful. Looked very painful. Jane Slater ends up tweeting out on X that it's both a hand and a hamstring for Dak. So double whammy for Prescott right there. A double whammy. And we shall see how this goes. Cooper Rush had a valiant attempt towards the end of the game. Put together a pretty nice drive. I'll give Cooper Rush some credit. He was making some pretty good throws. In the time that he was out there, made some pretty good throws. So I'll give Cooper some credit. He led the Cowboys to a touchdown. A nice pass to the back of the end zone to Jalen Tolbert. 27-21 with 1:24 left. Onside kick attempt fails. Falcons kneel it out, and it's game over. So there we go. That's the game recap right there for you. I thought Rico Dowdle played well today. Rico Dowdle in the game. Only 12 rushes, 75 yards. 0 touchdowns rushing, but receiving-wise, Dowdle had 5 receptions for 32 yards and a touchdown. A pretty good game from Rico Dowdle, in my opinion, in that regard. I got an itch in my throat that I just can't get out. It's the absolute worst. I'm going to have to probably cough real quick. Excuse me. So I thought Rico did good. I think Rico is obviously he is the number one back I don't know what the hell the Cowboys were thinking last week. If you believe in the conspiracy that Rico Dowdle was actually sick, or if you believe that Jerry Jones made him sit out because Zeke was starting to throw hissy fits and Jerry Jones does not want Zeke to be upset. Whatever you want to believe, Rico Dowdle needs to be the guy going forward for the Cowboys. I think he's earned the job, and he looked pretty fresh out there, I will say. He looked pretty fresh out there. CeeDee Lamb had 8 receptions for 47 yards, no touchdowns. Jake Ferguson, pretty nice game, 7 for 71, averaged 10 per reception. And Tolbert, 3 for 19, 1 touchdown. Kevontae Turpin, 3 for 36, averaged 12 yards per pass. So, yeah, there we go, man. That's pretty much the nuts and bolts of it right there. Eric Kendricks led the defense in total tackles. Donovan Wilson second, Kalen Carson third, and DeMarvion Overshown fourth. I thought Overshown was flying a lot out there. Pretty good little deal from Overshown. But, again, man, Bijan Robinson for the Falcons, 19 for 86, averaged 4.5 per carry. So there we go. And when you look at what the Cowboys were struggling with, they brought it up all telecast long. 3 of 13 on third down conversions, 1 of 5 on fourth down conversions. That's not going to get it done. The Cowboys had 74 offensive plays, and they averaged 5.1 yards per play. Not going to get it done. Not going to get it done at all for the Dallas Cowboys. So it's another Cowboys loss, 27-21 from the Atlanta Falcons. And yeah, that's what I got. That's going to pretty much wrap up this post-game show. Anthony's in here. Anthony, one more time, I appreciate you, man. Anthony says, at this point, is it worth for Parsons and Bland to return to this train wreck of a season? I think so. I think you got to get them back. I know at 3-5 things seem like it's over with, but you never know in the NFL, man. I would say if you have to at least try to work them back and see how things go. But if Parsons or Bland have to sit out next week and the Cowboys lose and fall to 3-6, if they have to sit out the week after and the Cowboys lose and fall to 3-7, I think the further the Cowboys get in the hole, then you might think about shutting it down for those guys, or at least minimizing as the snaps as possible. But I think they'll be back, but it might be too little too late by the time they do get back. So I appreciate you getting that question in there. That wraps up the Cowboys post-game show. Another devastating, depressing Cowboys game. 27-21, they fall to the Falcons in Atlanta, and now they return home next week to face the Philadelphia Eagles. Will Dak Prescott play? Who knows? Will CeeDee Lamb play? Who knows? A lot of questions remain. Not too many answers out there for the Dallas Cowboys. 27-21 Falcons win over the Cowboys, and the Cowboys fall to 3-5 in the 2024 regular season. All right, that wraps it up. I appreciate y'all. Make sure to follow my YouTube page, Sports Rush Media. Make sure to share, like the video, all that good stuff. It helps me gain traction, helps me keep on growing, man. More post-game shows to come. I know this one was tough, but I'm going to keep doing them. We have 9 more games to go. I think it's going to be 9. I do not envision any playoff scenarios for the Cowboys. But 9 more to go, 9 more post-game shows to go, and I promise to be here trying to give you guys the best Cowboys content you can. I promise to always keep it real with you. I think this team is absolutely horrid right now. I think this team just kind of flat out sucks, and it hurts to say, but that's the reality. They're a 3-5 team. They're banged up on injuries. They can't stop the run. They can't run the ball, and they commit just ungodly penalties at the worst possible times known to man. It is a football team that's not well coached. It's a football team that has leadership issues from the top down. It's a football team that doesn't have its way right now, and it's evident out there. Losers of 3 in a row, and losers today to the Falcons, 27-21. That wraps up the post-game show. I appreciate y'all. Once again, share, like, comment, all that stuff. Love you guys. Thank you for the support. All right. Make sure to follow the YouTube page, Sports Rush Media. James Espinosa signing on out. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Final score, Falcons 27, Cowboys 21.